Good morning, good morning. This is Jacqueline Richardson with JJ Diamond, Jackie Deja, whatever y'all call me. I just want to thank God for being alive this morning. I hope everyone is healthy. These numbers are getting worse, y'all. And all I can do is pray every day for everybody. And I hope there's more prayer people that pray warriors out there to help. Just connect with God so we can try to get rid of this thing. It's getting worse and worse. Let's see what the weather today is here in Charlotte. Alexa, what's the weather today here in Charlotte?
Which city in Sri Lanka?
What? I said Charlotte. Alexa.
Which city?
She want to act up this morning, y'all. Alexa, what is the weather here in Charlotte?
Sorry, I didn't get that location.
Ooh. Alexa, what's the weather today?
In Charlotte, it's 40 degrees Fahrenheit with clear skies and sun. Today, you can look for partly sunny weather with a high of 59 degrees and a low of 40 degrees.
It's getting cooler and cooler. This is around the time it gets cool here in Charlotte. This is our fall. It doesn't get cold until like maybe January, February, and then we go back to getting hot again. So we only have like 2 months of actual cold here in Charlotte. Today, I wanted to talk about conflicting pain against, yourself. And there's several ways we conflict pain against, on ourselves. And it's a human act, It's bad that we do it as human beings. However, we have to learn to discipline ourselves from some of these things that we do to harm us. We have the physical conflicting pain, against. Sorry, y'all. Conflicting pain on ourselves, and the way we do some of that is we can know something is bad for us, and we'll still turn around and eat it, use it, just like yesterday I talked about taking other people's drugs. People know that it's bad to take other people's drugs, and they still do it, not knowing what can possibly happen, and we eat foods knowing that they're bad for us. Some people commit crimes knowing they could possibly go to jail. All of these things is called conflicting pain against yourself. When you know something is not right or not good for you, and you do it anyway. However, when you're young, you have room for mistakes, but not too many. And that's the thing. When you're young, you're in the learning process. And I always tell people you're not a full-fledged adult until you're about 30 years old. Because you're constantly learning. This is just what it is. And by the time you're 30, you should know pretty much right from wrong. You should have known it earlier. However, sometimes it takes some people a little bit longer to learn things than others. And we got to beware of those type of people because when they conflict pain upon themselves, they want to conflict pain upon you. Which makes life more difficult for you. That's like what they say. When you with someone that's done something, you become an accomplice. And even though you didn't do it, but you're with them and they're a part of it, you still become an accomplice. So this is where you have to say to yourself, I'm not going to be a part of that. I'm going to have discipline and I'm going to figure out a way to not conflict pain on myself as an individual. you have to take responsibility for your own life. Granted, a lot of y'all don't like to be alone. A lot of y'all don't like to, you got to be in something in order for you to be happy. And that's another thing that's sad about, Americans. Well, not Americans, people in general. I'm not going to say Americans, people in general. They could be around people even though they know that people are not good for them, and then their mindset, when they see you and then you telling them like, look, I can't deal with this person because I pretty much don't want to do what they do. I don't want to be in they circle because they conflict pain upon themselves, and not only them, but me as well. And people don't get it. And the reason why people don't get it is because they was never taught about the pain that they put on themselves. And I felt like this was a must need. We need to talk about this because people are constantly, hating on others and mistreating others when they're miserable and they're unhappy. They're conflicting major pain on themselves, so they want to make you a part of what they do to themselves, and you can't put yourself in that realm because when you're born by yourself, and when you die by yourself, and you still gotta see God, at the end, and God is gonna say, okay, well, just because this person was doing this, you're your own person. Why you follow this person? You know what I mean? So God has given us all our own mind, our own souls, so we can learn to make decisions and make the right decisions so we don't follow what other people are doing. We can make accurate decisions about our lives and our souls. That's the thing with people, They sit back and constantly allow themselves to, how can I explain it? I want y'all to understand. Because I know sometimes I can talk where y'all don't understand it, and then that's why I have to do another podcast on it, people. And like I said, it's a natural act. However, we have to learn to be disciplined. We have to learn to watch the things that we do so we don't conflict pain on ourselves or the people around us. Okay, I'm going to use this for instance. It's like you have a family, okay, and and this is something that a lot of young kids do, a lot of young boys out here in the street. And I saw a young guy talking about this a couple of months ago, where he was out, I guess, got in trouble with some guys and stuff like that, and the guys wanted to hurt him. He wasn't the one, but he was telling somebody else, like, yo, don't go to these people's house because they had nothing to do with what this particular person's done, so don't put yourself in that circle, because just because this person is hateful don't mean the rest of them is hateful. Okay, just because this person is say a thief don't mean the rest of them is a thief. You have to watch out for stuff like that, when you're dealing with people like that, because then they have what I call a blank soul. Their soul is just completely empty, and we call those type of people demons. We think that they just don't care. They don't care about anything or anybody. They're willing to conflict any pain upon anyone and themselves, because if they get caught doing something, they're going to jail. And they've actually conflicted this pain on themselves several times by not paying attention, two, okay, involving other people in their drama, And 3, not weighing out their options of what can possibly happen. They just act without paying attention, and having discipline. And all of that plays a part, like, okay, I'm going to use my job, for instance. Now, I work at Amazon, a lot of products come past me every single day, everybody, and we all see things that we might want to buy, we might want, but what some people will do? They'll put it in their pocket. They'll take that chance, And I say to myself, like, why would you take that chance on stealing something, knowing that you could possibly get caught and lose your job? Now you conflicted pain upon yourself, because now you don't have no job to even see the new that's coming out so you can buy it, okay? And you have no money coming in. So where's your thinking process? You just put yourself in more problems by stealing this product instead of saying, hey, you know what? When I get paid, I'm going to buy this. And then you still got your job to go back to the next week or the next day. But some people will take that chance. They conflict pain upon themselves. It's not because you don't do it because it's okay to do it, or because everybody else is doing it. You just tell yourself, no. Because I want to be able to come back and get that paycheck, because that paycheck is going to be more than what that item is worth. And see, that's what they're missing. You know what I mean? Your paycheck is more than what the item is worth. So when you take this item, you might take it for your own personal use, or you may take it out to go sell it. But you're going to lose in the end, because if you get caught, it's a more paycheck. So why risk yourself? It doesn't make sense. Now I want to talk about like the physical pain, meaning internal. We eat all these different foods, knowing that it's a possibility that it can harm us. And I talked about that yesterday. How we can go to the doctor and know we have high blood pressure or diabetes and all these different ailments that that we give ourselves. And we will continue to eat these things that's bad for us, inflicting pain upon ourselves. Then as soon as we get sick, then we're looking at ourselves like, well, why did I do that? You had a choice. You had a choice. And I'm not saying, people, that we have to be perfect. We everybody has this thing where they want to be like Jesus Christ. It wasn't meant for anyone to be like Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ was meant to be different. And I wish people stop. What was that? I'm trying to figure out how to say it. I want people to stop comparing themselves to Jesus Christ. I had looked at one post, and matter of fact, I heard our President Trump, he had said it. I'm like Jesus Christ. No, you're not. You're not like Jesus Christ. Because Jesus Christ bared physical pain for our people. For the earth. And until you're willing to bear physical pain, you're not Jesus Christ. Okay? You might have been a prophet to help the people. The book is full of them, y'all. I be trying to tell y'all, the Bible has a bunch of prophets in it, and you can pick one, but not Jesus Christ. He will be the only. Okay? Because he did things a lot different, than the way these people that proclaim to be Jesus Christ out here. Okay? People think because they go through mental pain, or, I'm like Jesus. No, you're not. Okay, because a bunch of demons took Jesus Christ and put him on stakes and nailed him to it. And until that happens, you cannot be Jesus Christ. So stop trying to portray yourself and conflict and pain upon yourself mentally because you want so-called to be Jesus Christ. Every individual is a token of who God wants them to be. However, we cannot portray every, and I'm gonna say character, and I'm saying character on a sense of not that Jesus was a character and not that we're characters, but I'm saying it as whatever character you built yourself to be, or God had in store for you, and you followed that path. That's who you are. We cannot replicate these people. We can be similar, but we can't replicate these people. You know, sometimes people tell me, you have the patience of Job. You know, sometimes I got to go back and read the story of Job just to understand what they mean. You know, and I say, yeah, I'm pretty much like that. Yeah, that's who I am. Each and every one of us have a way about us. Even Jesus Christ conflicted pain upon himself because he knew by going out there every day preaching God's word that's what was going to happen. So it's a natural act, people. I'm not saying that we're totally wrong for not learning how to discipline ourselves to conflict pain upon ourselves. I'm saying we need to learn to work on it because it's becoming worse than a pandemic. Where we just, like I said, we know it's bad and we still utilize it, do it, and it's okay. People is accepting it, but we're constantly conflicting pain upon ourselves. We have to come to terms in our lives where we take ownership of our own life. Just like I was telling you the story when after I had Egypt, they had diagnosed me with high blood pressure. And my friend had told me, "Nah, you can't claim that." I said, "I know I can't. I'm not claiming this, Now I could have, because the people in my family have it. I would have been just like them. That's what my mother wanted me to do. She wanted me to claim it and say, hey, yeah, I got high blood pressure like the rest of my people. Get these pills and hopefully I can snap up out of it. But I didn't claim it. And I said I wasn't going to hurt myself in that sense. You have some people that claim these things and they do nothing to try to help themselves. And they've done it to themselves. It's like when we smoke cigarettes. We know what could come behind that. When we drink liquor, we know what could come behind it. But we do it. So like I said, it's a natural act. However, we have to we have to get more disciplined, and like I said, it's not, if you start young, on learning how to discipline yourself, it becomes a lot easier when you get older, and this is why I'm telling you youth this, because, I didn't learn to discipline myself until I was like almost 30. When I was young, somebody said something to me, I'd go off, I run around with my friends, they get into a fight, I would make the decision to fight with them. Even if it took that we was going to jail together, conflicting pain upon myself, dating guys that I knew wasn't good for me, conflicting pain upon myself. Things like this, we have to learn to say sometime no, especially when you get to a certain age, But if you can do it when you're young, by the time you're my age, you have it right. You know, you discipline enough to know how to run your life. You know. And this is why we talking every day, you know, because the things that we see out there, there's no discipline. And if you don't learn to change that, and it's grown men, grown women, and I'm telling y'all facts, y'all, that just don't have any discipline. They just do whatever, and they don't care. You know, they say that I'm my own person, and I'm going to continue to do whatever I want to do, and if I have to suffer for it, so be it. You know? And we call them demons. You know, those are demons, because they don't want to do right by you or anybody else. You know, they have all these different names for them now. We wasn't using back in the day, a womanizer, narcissist, and all of that other stuff that conflict pain on others because they've been conflicting pain on themselves. You know, and that's why people conflict pain on others, because they're miserable. They see where they can, you know, you may not be the same way, and with you not being the same way, they think that you're different. And it's not that you're different, they're different. Because in the real world, most of the people don't conflict pain upon, they may conflict pain on themselves, but they won't conflict it on others. In today's world, people are doing both. They're doing it to themselves, plus others. And this is what we have to be aware of. You know, people use drugs. You know, that's the other thing I wanted to talk about. You know, people don't care about you. You know, and people will offer you drugs, and I talked about this yesterday in my podcast. People will offer you drugs. You know, even if you ask for drugs, you know, some will give it to you. You know, and shout out to Harlem on this one. And I'm going to say this, you know, one person gave me some drugs, and I told y'all yesterday how I, you know, slept all day, missed my birthday. But when I was around other people, you know, and they know who they are, some of them are still alive, you know, a lot of them are still alive, and they be using drugs, and they say, not you, you know, no, you don't want none of this, because they knew what it was doing to them, you know, and I was the baby around. So, you know, little Jackie, that's what they called me. I was a baby around, so like, no, you can't have this. You don't want this world, you know. And it wasn't just one person telling me this; it was several people telling me this, you know. I heard that this particular person was passed away. I even had someone demonstrate, you know, what these drugs can possibly do to me, you know, if I decided to inflict this particular pain on myself, you know. So, you know, we're not going to have people actually showing you what can possibly happen to you, you know, but you have an idea. So this is why you don't want to pick up the drugs. You don't want, when you got somebody that's heartless and they say, hey, here, take some of this. You don't want to take that. You're like, nah, I'm good. You know, it's easy. You have a choice. No, I'm good. And if you feel like they're trying to force it on you, all you got to do is leave. You know, people always say to me, well, I never go anywhere unless I have my own vehicle. Because if I feel my surroundings is uneasy, I'm able to get in my car and be able to leave when I choose to. Okay? I go nowhere unless I'm in the comfort of myself, meaning I'm able to control my life. Okay? When you've given your life, somebody else, your life to control, you must trust them. Okay? Sometimes we don't even know these people that we put our lives in. You know, like these Uber drivers, you know, the cab drivers. And when we sit in their cars, all we can do is pray and ask God to cover us. Because we don't know what this person's going to do. We don't know if they've been drinking. We don't know if they've been using drugs. You know, people was laughing at me when I went to California, people on the plane, you know, everywhere I go, you know, people they laugh at me because I be doing funny stuff, you know. And that's just me, you know. I like to smile, you know. That's who I am, you know. When I'm around people, I try to make joy, you know, because my life was always so depressing, you know, and a lot of pain was conflicted on me. So I've learned within my life to smile regardless of what's going on around you. You know, you smile. You know, people used to always say to me when I worked at Frito-Lay, you know, you always come to work with a smile. And I'm like, yeah, why not? You know, why not? What's wrong with smiling? What's wrong with feeling good? Even if it's just for a moment, you know, it's okay. Because I don't feel like dealing with pain right now. Now, if y'all feel like dealing with pain because y'all don't like whatever's going on in y'all houses or whatever y'all are going through, I understand. But however, you can't let it beat you down every single day. So I smile, you know. So I'm the type of person like make people laugh and we have fun. You know, I'm not no comedian or nothing like that. Even though they say, you know, I do funny stuff and be cracking up the way I tell, you know, where I tell my stories or whatever. However, when you are so sure about yourself, meaning your soul, you know, how you can be, it plays a big part in your character and who you are. You know, people get to learn who you are. You know, when you come around and you smile, you say hello, that draws people to you, you know. Because people want to be around good, especially when they're having a bad day, you know. Sometimes people say, when I used to go to work, they'll say, oh, I couldn't wait to see you because just to see you makes me happy. And I'm like, what do you mean? You know, they're like, because you're just so bubbly, you know, and you always have a good outlook on everything, you know. I had to build my life like that. People don't understand, you know, because I didn't want to continue to conflict pain upon myself to make others happy, you know. People used to always say, you know, Jackie, you've been in a relationship. You was in a relationship, then you got rid of that relationship. Now you're in another relationship. That's when I was young, y'all. And I'm like, yeah, because that person was no good. I had to leave. Like, just like that, yep. I had to leave. Because I wasn't going to let them conflict pain against me or my family. You know, you got some people out here that's different. You know, they will sit around and allow people to conflict pain against them. Mentally and physically. And constantly conflict the pain against themselves. But you got some of us out here that love ourselves more than they love the people that they're around. You can tell the people that love themselves, you know. The people that's real caring, you know, and love others, they love themselves. Because they're trying to show you how good it feels to be a part of love. You know, I had a couple of people tell me, you know, like, as a matter of fact, this is Thanksgiving, you know, and I make pies for my community. You know, not everybody in the community, but most of the people that be out in the community. Every Thanksgiving since I've been here in Charlotte, you know, every community I go in, I always do something special for the community because I'm always in the community because I have kids, you know, and I do things in the community. You know, so every Thanksgiving, you know, I make the pies for the people. Excuse me, y'all. That's a token of my appreciation for things that they've done in the community, kept the community clean, or, you know, worked with the kids in the community, or just protecting the community. That's my appreciation. You know, sharing love. That's what the holidays are about. Sharing love, family. And the people that you live around, whether you know it or not, you know, you got some people that will live in a community and you would never know who they are. And then something bad happens, and then they'll say, well, nobody helped me. Well, you wasn't part of the community. That's why nobody helped you. Don't sit back and say people didn't want to help you, but you wasn't a part of the community. So you can't blame nobody but yourself. You know, if you're a good asset of the community, people are going to be there when you need them. You know, even when you're not an asset. So we got some people around here that's not even assets. You know, and out in my community. But that don't mean we won't help them if they need help. You know? The point I'm trying to make is people have to learn. Love always overtake hate. Okay? And as we learn every single day of our lives how to stop conflicting pain of others on ourselves, that's when you win. Because that's when you feel good. That's when you learn how to deal with people. Stop allowing whatever's going on in your life, meaning because of whoever you was attached to, meaning your mother, your father, because their lives were so disorientated, okay, that you are basing your life off of their lives and living off of their misery. You're conflicting pain upon yourself because you have a choice to live differently. You know, I had to learn that, you know, as a child. And this is why I'm teaching y'all that. Because this is why I'm who I am today. You know, both of my parents are drug addicts. And I'm not. But this is why. Because I told myself I'm not going to be like them. I had a choice. I had a choice. You know, I had saw a post the other day. One of my friends from Buffalo and me put a post out. And it says something on this order. I want to get it right because I really dislike messing up somebody's quotes and stuff like that because it could change the meaning of it. But it says something on an order of, in a relationship, don't create my flaws because they're your flaws. You know, a lot of people do that. That's the biggest thing in this world. Because you have this problem, you want to make me have that problem. That's where misery loves company comes in at. Because you're evil, you want me to be evil like you. And join your team. And sorrows. No. If anything, you should join my team and smile. Do things right. So God can continue to bless you. When we do things right and put that good energy in the universe, it comes back. And sometimes it comes back triple fold. You know? So we have to learn to stop conflicting this negative pain upon us because we're putting this negative energy out there. And all you bring it back to yourself is negative. That's why we call them demons. Because they like the negative. You know, the demons like negativity around them. They're not happy unless they have negativity. You know, it's not that the other ones are angels. You know, it's not that we are angels, but we know the difference between really harming someone to where it can destroy their lives. But a demon don't care. A demon wants to destroy your life and wants to destroy theirs as well. So what do? We make a way to disattach ourselves from that person. And even if you can't get away physically, you disattach yourself mentally from that person. Because you do not want to live the same pain that they're living. Because for one, if you're a different person, that pain is going to feel different to you than it would if it was them. Because their soul is dead. They're a demon. So, of course, it's going to feel different to you because you don't know what it's like to have a dead soul. You know, they got this thing going around on TikTok. You know, I used to always say this phrase because my girl Nicki Minaj, she brought this to the light, you know. Back, I forgot what album she said it in. But she said, a lot of y'all alive but not living. You know. And it's true. It's like people don't want to live. The purpose of God giving us life is so we can live. You know? Now they got this thing going around on TikTok. They say I'm alive but I'm dead. I'm alive but I'm dead. See what they teaching the kids? I'm alive but I'm dead because of the way I conflict pain mentally and physically upon myself. Instead of just having discipline and patience. I've seen a lot of people, you know, get into bad things because they couldn't discipline themselves. I've seen a lot of people inflict a lot of pain upon themselves because they couldn't discipline themselves. And it's sad. We have to learn how to discipline ourselves and to think, you know, it's one thing, shout out to New York. It's one thing about New York. You know, it's one thing I could say about my city. It's where I come from. We never allow, a true New Yorker, never allow nothing to take us down mentally. Because we're taught there's always a way out. Things will always get better. New Yorkers can live in a most beat up building, nasty building. But you'll go in some of these people's homes, and the houses may not have the best of everything, but it's clean, and they're comfortable until they can get better. That's the New York that I grew up in. And of course, we had some of those that just didn't give a care, and their houses look like crap. You got those everywhere. But majority of the people's homes that you go into in New York City are peaceful. Meaning, they're trying their best. You know, unless they work a lot and they just can't, you know, they just can't get things in order. But then you have those that just don't care. And that's everywhere. You know, baby used to always say, damn, Jackie, you can move with nothing. And then overnight, your home looks so beautiful. How do you do it? And I believe it was my era. I mean, the era before me. You know, well, one, I get a job. Just because I don't have money, you know, I get a job. I'll continue to fight until I get a job. That's one thing about New York. You want to work, they're going to make sure you work. You want to work? Oh, no problem. We will send you over here. Work. Get your money up. So being down is not an option. You know, that's not an option. Some places you go, they have no open doors. You know, like when I first came into Charlotte. I ain't never heard in my life where you had to go and pay for a CNA class. Never in my life. Until I came here. That's not something we do. We get it for free. Because we want to work and take care of ourselves. Stay off the government's back. They help us not conflict pain against ourselves. This is Jacqueline Richardson, Miss JJ Diamond, Jackie Deja, whatever y'all call me. I will talk to y'all tomorrow morning. Y'all have a wonderful day. Prepare for y'all Thanksgiving. And I will speak to y'all tomorrow.